It does actually collect water. It works. Hey there guys, welcome back to Calico Cow Acres. This weekend we are doing a whole bunch of stuff. We do have a project focus that Taylor's going to be working on today, but we have a bunch of other stuff going on. That project's not going to be completed this weekend, but I do want to show you at least the first part of it. But first, I am going to head into the basement and bring my seedlings outside. I have all my little tiny tomato seedlings because I started them super late. They are just starting to pop up. I separate them out later on, that's why there's so many. And then we have marigolds and stuff down here too. I'm gonna just get these outside. Alright, I just have them set next to our little greenhouse. The reason I'm doing this is so that when the time comes, they will be used to the sunlight and they aren't going to need hardening off when they're ready to go into the garden. And since it's only a couple of trays, I don't really mind bringing them out every day. This whole thing is filled with trays as well, and it's like 12 plus trays that were in here, and we were having to bring those in and out every day, working on hardening them off. I ran out of space under the grow lights, a whole bunch of reasons. So we just put them in this thing. We did lose a bunch yesterday. We had a major windstorm and the greenhouse is fine. I had the door open, but the direction that the wind was coming from kind of was pushing the trays around in here and a bunch of them toppled over. I will try and pop a picture on the screen of what it looked like. I lost at least a tray's worth, and then there's another tray's worth that I don't have labels for now. Those were ones I was gonna sell, and now I'm not going to be able to do that. So I still have some. I have some I'm gonna give away. And I think now all of the random ones that I don't have labels for that got all mixed up, those are just gonna get maybe popped down in the orchard. Maybe I'll give them away as surprise peppers. I don't know. Most of what's in here is our pepper plants. I remedied the situation, but it was a very stressful evening. Hey there, little guy. Ricky. You're so sweet. Also, in case you hear them in the background, we do have our chicks in this tractor now, the A-frame. They spent their first night outside last night. Didn't you guys? This is obviously a rooster. We were really hoping not to get any more of them, but we did. They are the big kids now, and they are outside full time. Since I know somebody's gonna ask, we had some friends who actually asked if they could take one of our roosters that we had in this coop. They took him to their farm and he is living his best life with a flock of geese and ducks and guineas, and he is the king there. So he's living his best life. So we ended up putting our other rooster, Gouda, back into the main coop because the ratio wasn't so far off at that point. And we'll have 7 more hens going in there once these guys are of age. So the balance will be good. The rooster that we got in this lot, we'll probably just try and give him away or do something with him. Maybe he'll stay in this tractor, I don't know. We'll figure that out when we get there. But for now, they are happy. They are 7 weeks old, just over 7 weeks old as of this week, and they are finally outside. It's kind of windy today, so sorry if you can't hear us very well. We're gonna try and do this quickly. We are working on the coop again today. Well, he is. I'm gonna be working on prepping another potato bed. A while back we went and made another trip to get more IBC totes, and the goal with those is water catchment, saving some water, and setting up a watering system for the birds. So we're not gonna get to the actual watering system today probably, but we are gonna get the gutter put on the coop and get the tote kind of in place so that we can get that watering system set up hopefully really soon.
Yeah, so we'll get the gutter mounted and figure out where the tote's gonna go, and I'll probably like dig in a little bit and we'll put some gravel and some pavers down for the tote to set on, just so it's, you know, level and I don't know, doesn't go anywhere. I doubt it would go anywhere with a few hundred gallons of water anyway, but so we'll kind of get that all in place. And then once that is in place, the second part of the project will actually be like making the PVC tube that goes into the run. It'll just go through like the hardware cloth in one spot and then connect to the bottom of the coop, and that's where all their watering nibbles or cups are going to be. But yeah, we figure we could at least, we have the tote and we had to get one extra piece of gutter. We had some leftovers from doing the house, so we figure we could get the gutter and the tote in place and start catching some water, and then in the next probably week or two we will actually put in the watering system for them.
Yeah, so this is kind of part one of that project.
We need to get the tote over here, figure out where we want it to go, keeping in mind that there will be a deck there someday. Eyeball it in relation to that. And then that'll tell me where our downspout needs to be. The downspout's going to be like not exactly in the center probably, but yeah, we'll do a central one since we only want one downspout to feed the tote. And yes, we'll get that in place and kind of measure everything out. Okay, so I'm kind of thinking we just do pavers along the two sides. It's like 57 inches, almost 5 feet.
Yeah.
Can you just hold this like roughly there? I just want to try and rough out a height. I got 12, 14 inches. I mean, yeah, that's enough drop for a hard pipe. My other concern against the corrugated or the flexi stuff is its ribs are so big that it's going to hold a ton of water at this shallow angle.
One eternity later.
So we want to overhang the roof.
The roof?
The type of seam connections I have for the gutter say to just do it in place. They say to hang the gutter and then put the seams on, and then it comes with like some glue you use. I calculated how much drop I need in the gutter. So basically at the far end, the gutter will sit like right up under the roof, and down here it's going to sit about right there, so we get enough slope so the water flows. I am going to just mount the downspout piece right now, and then I kind of have a place to meet up to when I get the bigger pieces done. So I left that loose so I can still get the other hanger in here because they kind of clip on top of the gutter, and it is slightly behind the drip edge. I'm going to get one as close to this joint as possible without interfering with the actual seam. That way it'll be supported kind of right on the either side of this. I just put the one in the middle right now so I can hang this and still work with it. So there'll be kind of more than is needed right here, but I have enough hangers and I'd rather be safe. I added an extra like roofing screw into the back side of this because you're actually supposed to fold the front and the back edges of this seam over. But since I have this up under my drip edge here, I can't access the back of it once it's on. I'm gonna see how this works out. I did it how it said on the house, but in that case, you aren't able to actually get your gutter under the drip edge, which has caused some issues on the house where it doesn't catch all the water that well. And I think we should be fine here with a longer overhang than our house has, like this actual roof material overhang. But we'll just see how it works. I mean, if it drips a little, that's not a big deal, but I think this should work pretty good. So we're gonna put this one up.
Okay. Shove it up in there too.
Yeah, and just be careful with the end cap. The glue is like almost dry. All right, well, that is some of it done. So we got the gutter going the whole length here. Got our downspout. And we just need to connect that to that. But first, we need to kind of dig this in more level. We got some pavers to put it on, and we'll kind of get that set in place and then connect them somehow. Since our gutter here is under our nice big pecan tree, and probably catches a lot from that cedar tree too, we knew we were going to need some gutter guard. So we found this stuff. It's pretty cheap, so we like that. And it also, it has a like a fine plastic mesh screen on it, so this should keep like pretty small stuff from getting in the gutter, which is good because we don't want a ton of dirt and stuff collecting in our tote. All the connections are going to be like removable, so we will probably have to clean this out periodically, but everything we can do to keep it clean will help us. We're also, where we mount it in here, we're probably going to do like a screen filter in here too. That'll be a little finer than this. But I am trying to put the first piece on, and since it's universal, it's kind of wider than our gutter. You're able to use this with 5 or 6 inch gutter. Luckily, I don't know if you can see it, there is a little gap between our roof metal and our drip edge up in here. There's like a foam seal up in there. So luckily I have a little bit of room to slide this up in there, and then it'll clip into the front edge here. So we'll just see how this goes. I mean, I think it's gonna work. It'll be a lot better than nothing. And I mean, I don't think it's gonna cause any issues, hopefully. So I am going to put this in the whole length of the gutter. This is pretty close. I need a few more inches out, and I'm going to put just a little bit right on top of the berm just to kind of make it perfectly level with my new pad here. So I'm going to go scoop some more dirt and finish this pad up. Then I can start laying the blocks down. Now that the tote is set in its place, we need to connect this downspout to the lid of the tote. It's drying off camera right now, but I epoxied a fitting into the lid of the tote that'll allow us to kind of like attach a gutter. I'll show it better once I put it on like with the gutter, but for now I'm gonna just kind of like get our downspout here, measure the length that I need for this, and I'll cut all that and kind of get everything set up. So this is the IBC tote lid. You can see I used like this I don't even know what it is. It's like a strainer for irrigation stuff. And I just epoxied this into the lid. This is gonna allow us to put this gutter adapter right down in here. And we're gonna put like a screen down in here so that, like, I don't know, most bugs and dirt and stuff can't get in there. I'm gonna redo my measurements and try and figure this out because we're really limited on like the amount of drop we're gonna get here. So I might have to get kind of creative with this stuff. I'm basically just seeing if I can like modify the length of some of the stuff we already got to make this work. This isn't going to be an ideal slope, but it should be fine, especially, you know, this is the high point, so it should push water down into this thing. If it doesn't work and we need to get some different fittings, we'll do that. But this is what we could get locally, so I'm going to try and make this stuff work. It's kind of acceptable at this point. I am now modifying the part that the gutter is going to sit in on the tote. I think this is probably as good as I am going to get it. So it's not a huge slope, but it should be enough for water to run down. Let's see, we're about that far out of level, which over like 4 feet, I think we're good. I am going to do a strap. I have some like PVC like pipe hanger, so I'm gonna put a strap under this because the weight of water might pull this down and that would kind of hurt its whole angle and draining. So I'm gonna just run a strap under here and screw it into the face of the gutter to make sure that can't fall. I will be putting a couple more screws around this to hold it together. You can see what I had to do here. So I had to kind of cut this flange down so this could come in at a lower point. I guess kind of making this all work was just a combination of 3 or 4 things that all add up to a couple inches. So I cut this flex piece shorter so I could get it higher up onto the gutter. And yeah, I think this is gonna work. I got the strap on here, put some screws to hold all these joints together, and as you can see now, any weight that comes in here pulls down the whole gutter, and we have plenty of hangers up there to support all that weight. So hopefully this joint doesn't move at all, because if this fell down, it would hurt the angle that our downspout is running at. And then for this connection, I am going to leave this fitting not attached to this. They fit together really snug and there's no gap in here. So I'm not worried about like the wind blowing this out or it just falling out for any other reason. That should be a tight connection. I am going to probably just put like a screw in either side of this to keep the gutter in here. I don't think I have any like screen material, but I would like to put some down in here. So I'm gonna just put these screws in for now to keep everything together. And then once I get some screen material, I'll take it back out and put a screen down in here. That way nothing can kind of like, no bugs or whatever can crawl down in from here or whatever. They'll hit that screen and it'll keep everything filtered out. That'll stay connected now, and then whenever we want to take this apart, it'll just slip out of that joint. So if we need to, you know, spray this thing out, or if we want to fill it manually, which we might do here in the beginning, once we get the water hooked up, we'll see how much water we catch before then. But anyway, we have a connection here that we can take apart and service as needed. Let's try and like slide it on from this side.
It's been a few days. Taylor just got done mowing and it's about to be dark out. So before we head in for dinner, we figured we'd finish this video really quick. He ended up filming most of it. You did a really good job. Oh. And we wanted to show you that it does actually collect water. It works. So we got rain yesterday.
Yeah, pretty much all day yesterday. It wasn't like a super hard rain. It was just kind of consistent all day. So you can see some, it's kind of puddled on top of our cover here. I'll probably poke a couple little drain holes in that, but it's kind of hard to see, but you can see the line in it, which, I mean, considering we get a lot heavier rain here than we did yesterday, and it already filled up like,
It's like 4 or 5 inches.
Yeah, 4 or 5 inches. That's pretty good. We're definitely going to still put an overflow tube on it because I think it'll probably fill itself up this spring still. And we'll just see how the summer goes.
Yeah, so we need to do an overflow, which is something we planned on doing but kind of forgot to work in like this last weekend.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about it while we were setting this up, but we still have to do the plumbing to actually get the water down to the chicken coop, which there's just going to be some PVC and some hose, but
yeah.
So we'll add the overflow as a part of that.
Yeah, that'll probably be in a video or two from now. We're not going to wait too long because this thing's going to fill up probably pretty quickly. But yeah, it works, so we're happy with it. I'm excited.
Yeah, I am too. It was really cool to have it catch water, and I don't think the gutters leaked, which is better than I did on the house.
Yeah, our chicken run is really dry after the rain yesterday, which is so nice. It's usually a mud pit, so
yep.
Very happy with that. All right, we're going to go eat some dinner. We hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.